So I just got off work and I'm going to try to get some of these elderberries that I can reach and get those going. I've picked several bunches this year so far. All I'm doing right now, I'm not making syrup out of it. I'm actually just taking them off of the plant and flash freezing them in the freezer, and then we're vacuum sealing them so I can do it later on. I've got too much to process right now, and so I'm just trying to get them off the trees before the birds do or they fall off. So this is the best elderberry harvest we've ever had, and so I'm not sure if it was the early rain or the trees are finally matured enough. They're just absolutely beautiful. Whoops. So that one was actually still green. I shouldn't have picked that one. I'm just gonna lay it down here. It looked like it was, from my height, it looked like it was all ripe and purple, and actually when I pulled it down and cut it, it was actually lots of green still on it, so I'm not even gonna fool with it. Let me go on the other side of the gate. Sam! Sam! A few of these have lost their berries or the birds have got to them. There's not a whole lot left on them. Let me see if I can see what this one is before I cut it off and ruin it too. Lots of green on that top one. I'm just gonna leave it. I just got home from work and the weather station inside says it's 94 degrees and 116 heat index. That's how it's been most of the year. It's been really hard on the animals, hard on us too, but it's been very difficult for them. We've probably not had rain in 2 weeks maybe, so we really need some rain too. I've planted some more green beans. Sorry about the quail, they're hollering. I've planted more green beans. They're out of the ground, but if it doesn't rain, they're not gonna make much. I don't know if you can see this one or not, but this one is absolutely beautiful, full of berries. And where I'm vertically challenged, it's very difficult to get some of these off. Let's see. I see 2 more bunches I need to get, and I don't know that I can get them down. Let's see here. Maybe this one I can. I guess this tree's probably 12 foot tall. I don't want to break it off. See if I can get it. Oops, I just broke it and I didn't mean to do that. Dang it. Didn't mean to. I feel raindrops, thank goodness. So I've got a pretty good mess of the elderberries. I mean, most of these are stems, don't get me wrong, but we'll go in the house. I think I'm gonna go take you out back and we'll pick some blueberries real quick, and then we'll get these started so we can get them in the freezer. So before I pass it all up, these raised beds initially were broccoli and cabbage, kale. And so once that was finished, I went ahead and replanted some zucchini and squash. So we'll see if there's anything I need to take in the house while I'm already out here. These things have gone crazy. Our initial harvest of zucchini and squash was really good. It was out by the elderberries, and eventually the squash bugs just got to it. So they were done. We got a great harvest off of them, so I just decided to go ahead and try planting some more. So we'll see what we got here. I also planted some sunflowers just for fun. Everybody needs some water, that's for sure. Looks like the squash bugs are getting this one right here too. What you getting, Kimber? Jeff said he got his zucchini off of him the other day, and truthfully, I don't see any. Let's see if there's any down here. Oh my goodness, look at these. I see a round of zucchini coming on, but it looks like today I'm just gonna have 2 crook neck and straight neck yellow squash. So that's better than nothing. So last year, I'm pretty sure these all came in about one time, the same time, but this year they're not. There's still lots left to turn, so I'm just trying to pick through them. The easiest way for me to do is just kind of roll them around my fingers, and I do the same thing with the blueberries. Last year I just put them in big gallon-sized bags. This year I'm not doing that. It was just so hard to use. When I wanted some, I would open them up, and some of them would get, start thawing out, and it just didn't work out for me. So we've juiced all those, and this year I'm not washing them or making sure the stems are out. I'm actually, the only thing I'm doing is putting them on a cookie sheet, flash freezing them, and then we're doing them in 2-cup vacuum seal bags. And we've got a big vacuum sealer for the processing room, and so we just run them through the vacuum sealer. We have got, there's a bunch up there. We've got this netting over here because the birds, try to keep them out of it the best we can. And there is a mess up here. Let's see if I can get some of these off. It's difficult to get in here. Lots of little ones still. I go ahead and try to pick the ones that's fallen off that weren't ripe yet and just give them to the birds here. So I did peaches and strawberries in the freeze dryer this year. I have done blueberries in the past, but the problem with the blueberries is you have to either poke a hole in them, which gets a little tedious, or cut them in half. And so I don't think I'll freeze dry any. It just takes so long to get them ready to go in the freeze dryer. So we'll just do them frozen, and we'll make pancakes and muffins and things like that with it. Maybe like a dessert bread, sweet bread. The grandbabies come out here all the time and just pick them and eat them, but oh, that sun beating down is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Tomatoes are about finished for the year. Unfortunately, we've enjoyed them. Jeff has ate more tomato sandwiches than he knows what to do with, and BLTs for supper once a week for sure. But they are, with the little amount of rain we've had, and we plant really early, plus we have them in the high tunnel, so those were really early too. We've got a few still out in the garden and then the raised beds, so hopefully we'll have a few more to eat on. But as far as canning, I think I'm done canning. I've made salsa and diced tomatoes, regular sauce, spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce. So I'm about sauced out. Let me see if I can get you off my tripod here. Let you take a look at this. These berries up in here that I'm trying to pick around. There's a bunch right there. Looks like it might could rain. I wish it would. Let's see what we got. So there's quite a few up there. It's just picking around the ones that aren't quite ready yet. This poor tree has grown taller than the netting. Here's some smaller trees we have just outside of there. They've got quite a few on them too, and I had them picked clean of the purple ones, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll keep it going, and I'll show you when I freeze them in just a little while. Okay guys, so I've picked elderberry, or cut the elderberry, and I've picked blueberries. I really wasn't going to bring you up here because I'm thoroughly embarrassed about this garden, but when we homestead or you're self-sufficient, sometimes things take priority. Down in the lower part of the garden, and I'll show you in just a minute, the 1st of July, I put up, I think it was like 75 quarts of green beans. That took several weeks to get that accomplished. I think I showed my last video of us pulling them up, and we've actually planted more. I'm not putting any more up, but I've had people ask me if I would plant some more so they could purchase them. So I have done that, but this garden is out of control. It just, after the green beans came the tomatoes, and it's just been a nightmare. But I'm gonna go ahead and check this okra. I do see some, and so I did okra last night as well. I put it on my Facebook page, but I will try to show you my process of doing okra as well as the blueberries and the elderberries, and maybe jalapenos. We'll see what we can get accomplished tonight. So I'm gonna pick these real quick or cut them off, if I can tell where the plants are and where the weeds are. So I'm not a big okra fan, but Jeff and the kids really like it, and so some of the kids like it. So I've done several messes of okra for supper at night, and now I'm just trying to keep it picked so it'll keep blooming, and trying to get them where they're not so tough. And I'll just put another mess in the freezer after I bread them, and that way we can have them. I may keep this mess for tomorrow night when he gets off work. So a lot of the problem with the weeds in this part of the garden is this was not a garden till this year. So we just had so many plants left that we'd started, and we just decided to go ahead and till it up. So it's not really had any time other than we turned over the grass. It's not really had a chance to die off and not have any weeds in it. So it's 10 times worse than any part of the garden is. But if we get some okra off of it and some peppers off of it, outside of what we already have in the high tunnel, the greenhouse and the raised beds, that's that much more food we have to put up. Got quite a bit actually. I also planted cantaloupe and squash up here, and it didn't do really well. I see a couple little, not cantaloupe and squash, cantaloupe and watermelon. I see a couple little watermelons, but they don't make nothing. They're already drying up, so I don't think they had enough sunshine up here on the hill either. This one. Anymore. Here's a bitty watermelon. It's all dried up. It's got a little yellow place on the back side. I'm just going to cut it open in a little while and see what it looks like. I mean, I know that some of them were the personal size ones or the little sugar babies. We'll see. If not, I'll give it to one of the animals. I know I saw it. There it is. I saw another couple down here. So I got them. Well, there's a small mess, and I'll put this watermelon in there too. And I'll jump over here to the jalapenos and see what we've got. Doesn't look like they're very big. The pimentos have not started turning yet. Is that another watermelon? Or tripped over something. Shoot. So here's the green beans that we've replanted. This was an initial garden, so we had green beans here. We've harvested all of them. I've planted again. Waylon and I planted. It'll be 2 weeks this weekend, and so if we don't get any rain, I'm afraid they won't do anything. But and then we had cucumbers over on the fence, and they're gone too. So it's about that time of year to call it fall. So now I'm gonna sit down and cool off for just a second, but I'm just gonna take these blueberries. I didn't pick all of them or a whole lot of them. I'm just gonna pour them. This is actually one of my freeze dryer trays, but I'm gonna pour them here. And like I said, I don't wash them. I don't make sure all the stems are off. I do that when I pull them out of the freezer. But try to get the greener ones out of there if there's any more. There's another one. So that'll take care of the blueberries, and I'll stick those in the freezer, and then in the morning I'll put them in bags and vacuum seal them. I just do that. I pre-freeze them so that it doesn't smash them when I vacuum seal them. If you just put them in a freezer bag, you don't have to pre-freeze them, but that's the only reason why I do it. So, but that'll be what? Maybe, I guess I'll probably just make it in 2 bags. It might be 3. Like I said, I didn't pick a whole lot. It's so hot outside right now. And I did look at the radar, and there's nothing before 11 o'clock where you don't have any rain coming, as cloudy as it is outside. So we'll stick those in the freezer real quick, and we'll move on to the elderberry. The same goes with the elderberry. What I usually do with those is, they got bugs on. I'll just take each individual stem and I'll just roll the berries in my fingers and just try to get them out. Sometimes it'll pull the actual stem off, but most of the time they roll off. And so I'll have purple fingers in a few minutes, but it's kind of like doing beets. So I usually, when I get home from work, I usually go actually and feed the animals right away, but it's so hot they won't even come out of the shade or come to the feed. So I'm gonna wait for just a little while before I feed them and get everybody some more fresh water. And it's just so hot. I don't know what the temperature is right now. Let's see. It's cooled down quite a bit, which I said it got really cloudy. It says it's 85 now, and the heat index was 97, I think, when I turned around and looked. So So I'm going to continue doing this. I'm actually going to stop the video. I'll show you what I've come up with at the end. But I'm going to watch some of my favorite YouTube channels. There's several, Patera at Appalachian Homestead, and get caught up on some of the ones that I like to watch, and Celebrating Appalachia, and that's where I get a lot of my ideas from too. So I will kill this little spider that's climbing on my hand from the elderberry, and I will catch back up with you in a few minutes when I get all these done. I want y'all to look at all the elderberries. So I've got them all off the stems. There's a few little tiny pieces in there, but I've got them all off the stems. I'm gonna go stick these in the freezer with the blueberries, and then we will package them up later on as well. So that'll make a nice mess of elderberry syrup or jelly or whatever it might be this fall. So I'm gonna go out and feed the animals real quick, and I've been meaning to do a video on some new animals that we have on the farm, and I may just go ahead and do that. I have shared them on Facebook, but I haven't had a chance to do a video yet. So hopefully we'll be able to do that so that you can see what we've got and what we're enjoying. We have thoroughly enjoyed these new animals, and so hopefully they'll be out and we can take a look at them.